Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Reactor. With me in the studio is Mr.
Matthew, Debock, Manaka. How you all doing?
Alright, so Mr. Manaka, what are we going to be talking about today?
All right, today I have a topic that, I've been seeing it quite a lot, and I think we spoke about it the last time, years back, eons back.
Alright.
But I thought we should bring it back because it's something that I quite saw. I think it was Miss World or Miss Universe who was supposed to win a Mercedes-Benz or something like that. So my question to you is, do you really think Miss World, Miss Teen, whatever, those things are really relevant, or it's just, what's the word? Exploitation of women? Because really, I know they have they have initiatives that they end up doing, charitable initiatives. But then at the same time, as I was going through the charitable initiatives, most of the time it seems as if it's just like a money-making scheme. What's your thoughts?
I've not really looked into it per se. Why do you think it's exploitation? Maybe
Of
I can
women.
answer your question after understanding that.
I would say exploitation and objectification of women, in the sense that the beautiful one who models in the swimsuit, wears the beautiful smile, wears the beautiful walk, who obviously they now bring in who can talk eloquently, yes, but I don't think that's a major issue, because if you really looked ugly per se and you could talk like, I don't know, like a mermaid, then it wouldn't really matter. It wouldn't be a beauty contest. So it needs to look a certain way. And in also needing to look a certain way, they're actually saying certain women don't look beautiful and certain women look beautiful in a certain way. So you need to be this way. So hence comes the exploitation, or let me rather say the objectification of women. It's also like a barbaric way of looking at it, to say the most beautiful one is the one who gets the crown. Does that still apply in this society, or we are just propagating something that objectifies women in a negative light?
I don't think so. Because we do a lot of things as human beings. There's a lot of activities that we've come up with. Unless you're saying all of these are trash. Because we also say the fastest. We also say the one who can jump the furthest. We also say the strongest.
That's technical ability. Now with your beauty, you're just born like that. You're born with the eyes.
Not really.
No, obviously there's stuff you can do. You can put makeup and whatnot. But then when we're talking about beauty contests, Miss World, Miss Universe, they don't focus on the person who's really ugly who put the best makeup. Let's be honest.
It's not like that. I think maybe more. I actually think there's a lot of things that go into beauty besides just how you were born as a person. Of course, genetics play a role with almost every sport or any other competition. Advantage. But however, regardless of that, there is some work in notoiswa kuti umwe angagara ine advantage dzinonzi nguri akatadza kutoisa work iyoyo, they may not even win.
True.
For example, in modeling, you discover that there's a lot of things that you need to do to your skin. Skin yako ibude zvakanaka. Skin care chai. You need to know how to treat your skin zvakanaka. Na riri bvudzi, of course, you also need to know how to treat your hair zvakanaka. Kana uri muviri, you need to exercise and work out so that you have the right body to win Miss Universe. So I don't think it's about kuti vakashata vakanaka. There is actually work in it.
But wait, let's look at it like this. From what the perspective you are saying, if those key elements of your skin, your hair, and your whatnot were all taken into consideration, how about someone who's short in modeling? That's automatically you can't model.
Definitely.
If you're short. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's nothing you can really do about being short.
Same with bodybuilding. If you are short, you are doomed.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
But
yes, Kai Green won anything.
He hasn't. But look at it like this. Even bodybuilding is another negative thing again. Because it's
can
similar.
We say all competitions are bad then?
No.
Because I think once you go that route, then you might as well just say all competitions
I'm
are
not
bad.
saying all competitions are bad. I'm saying competitions where we need to parade our bodies in a certain way are the bad ones.
Also, the issue is the body.
Yes, because at the end of the day, what we're looking at is the body. We're not looking at the mind here. When we're talking about a beauty contest, when we're talking about a bodybuilding contest, we really don't care what's happening upstairs. What we're talking about is
we do care.
We care to a certain extent, but the major thing that the judges are judging is not your mind. Let's be honest. They are judging your body, right? Then, as I was saying, now what happens with the beauty contest, they have the charitable side, which I'm not denying that it's there, because those people end up doing charity. But the way it's all designed is it's a money-making scheme. It's not altruistic that they say the most beautiful person is the one who's going to help the world. No. Here, vakomana toda kuita mari. Todi, because those pepe zvakanaka us, the ones who are going to cater sponsors. The sponsors are going to pay to be part of the event. There's no way they would go and take.
So tell me
ugly
anything that's
women.
not money making, Matthew. Soccer,
No,
it's money
I'm not
making.
saying-
Boxing is money making. Athletics is money making.
True.
What are you
My
saying?
whole point is this form of money making, isn't it objectifying women? That's my
Well,
whole
fine.
point.
Can you
here.
explain to me what is objectifying women?
Objectifying women is seeing a woman for the way her body looks. That's just mainly that. That's how we see women as objects. If you see her as
Oh,
the
you
way
mean-
the
okay,
body
I get
looks,
it, I get
then
it.
she's an object to the man who can possess a body because it's the body.
I honestly don't think we're objectifying women here at all. We're
Hmm.
just simply appreciating the women for who they are.
Then the ones
It's
who
not
don't look like
objectifying.
that, what happens to those?
We appreciate them for what they have, which is not this. Just like how what we do in
So
even
there's pretty privilege then, to a certain extent.
I don't know if you want to call it that, because is there something like intellectual privilege? Is there something like that?
No, my whole
My
point,
point
right,
here is there are people who are smarter than others, and those smarter people are celebrated. Vanopoma Nobel Prizes, they get awards, and we don't even talk about why are you not celebrating the dumb ones, because they didn't prefer to be dumb. They
No,
were born
I think
dumb.
in these two things, right, you can, besides your mental capacity, if it's really stagnated, but you can put effort to learn and be good
there
at
are
anything.
people who are Down syndrome.
Yes,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about those who have a
Why
mental
are
stagnated.
we not talking about those?
Why?
then?
Because they are the extreme of what we are saying. Just like even in the beauty, we can't talk about the amputees and the ones who are born with
Why?
a cleft palate. Why? Because I think where we are losing it, or where you are losing it, is in trying to explain why one thing may be bad or may be good in relation to what we are talking about. If we try and contrast it to almost anything, then we're not really explaining that one point we are talking about. Because now what we're doing is being contrarian. We're contrasting to everything else and diminishing the point of what we are talking about. My whole point was, within what we do, in saying if you're going to be pretty, you're going to do X, Y, Z, and you're going to be in Miss Universe and you're going to win. What you win and what you end up really doing, it's not the whole cycle of how it's put together. It's not put together. It's because they really want this girl to go and do charity, or she really loves doing charity. She's doing it for the money because she's pretty and she's the ability to do it right. But then they want to make it seem as if Miss Walton, Miss whatever, they end up doing charitable things, right? They masquerade as we do charitable things, right? But behind it, that's why I was talking about the objectification of women. Here, soccer doesn't masquerade to be two teams playing so that there's something else behind it. You get what I'm saying? They present soccer
do,
as
my guy.
soccer is a money-making game.
They do all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Soccer puts it up front to say we are here to make money. They don't masquerade. Yeah,
They actually go after. There's so many charitable things that soccer people do after.
but my whole point is, when soccer is presented to us as the audience who are going to consume soccer, we already know it's a money-making scheme.
Yeah.
Here, it's not presented like that. It's presented as a someone who's beautiful, is a kind-hearted person who wants to do a charitable event. Have you ever seen them when they respond into the questions of the way they see the world?
Yeah.
All of them are beautiful and kind-hearted.
Because that's what they represent.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't
Regardless
it
of
all
what they
just an act to make money?
everything
Then you can
is
say
an act.
everything is an act.
Everything
What-
is an
see-
act, my guy.
True, but I'm
Show
saying
me what is not an act.
what I'm trying to say is, within this drama that we are playing, aren't we objectifying women?
I don't think we're objectifying them. They're just part of this big game. Everything is an act. Everything that we
I
do.
do understand everything is an act, but I'm not debating whether some things are an act and some things are not. My whole point of debate here is, within the act that we are doing, aren't we objectifying women?
I don't think we're objectifying women. And I'm saying, since you agree that everything is an act, this is just part of the act. How is it objectifying
You know
women
what?
here?
It's part of the act, but in all acts that we do, right, there are certain themes that lie within the act. Let's say an act of soccer, the act of playing and kicking around the ball.
Yeah.
The theme behind it is people want to make money, right? There's a theme that
No,
there's something.
not really. Actually, with
We
soccer,
can't say
usually they are actually like the agenda is to bring fun to the people. It's fun. It's not even just to make money, but money seems as if it's something that comes
No,
after.
if money comes first, then fun comes
Dude,
after.
when they advertise soccer, they never say we're about to make money here. They say Arsenal and whatever is playing against this. Watch the match and be
because
excited.
it's fun, yes.
Yes,
I'm
they
totally
advertise
getting
fun.
yes, they advertise fun. But what I'm trying to say is, behind the act of kicking the ball around, which is fun, there's money.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. There's always an underlying theme within every act that we do.
And that's what we do as human beings.
Yes, but then it doesn't mean that we don't have the capacity to to question whether the acts that we do are right or wrong.
What is wrong about a woman modeling and she loves it and she's beautiful?
What's wrong is it makes it seem as if to the girls who are out there, right? If you don't look in this specific way, then you can't be Miss World. Then you're not the beautiful one. And wait, let me finish. If you're not the beautiful one, it also lowers their self-esteem.
Yeah.
At the same time, it sexualizes women in the sense that the women who are there are being sexualized and they're being put as a sex symbol, which pushes our gender as human beings as sexualization. Even if you think of Miss Teens, and we're putting teens there to model whatever they're going to model in or whatever they're going to be dressed in, it's the sexualization of those teens at that stage. You might say, yes, the audience may be diverse.
That's how you see it.
You might say the audience are diverse and this and that, right? But at the end of the day, if you dress someone in a specific way, in a certain way, and they model in a certain way, there's certain things that you are projecting to the world, whether the audience are different or a cross-section of the audience, may whatever it may be, but people are going to perceive something the way you do it. So the moment you dress up a teen and you put her in front there to model, right, in scantily clothed or in whatever way that may be deemed adult behavior, then you put her in the adult bracket. That means she can be sexualized like that, because at the end of the day, you said we are human beings, and if we are human beings, most of the things that we do, either they lie around sex, around fun, around sleep, around food, around money. So within that realm, we also, that's where my point for objectification comes out, to say we are objectifying them within that realm in that way, in the sexist form. Imagine if the women had to dress up and do what they do, but then they dress with the pujabis and all we can see is the eyes. Then we've lost the point of Miss Universe. We've lost the point of Miss World.
There's actually like they do. There's categories where they actually wear their traditional wear.
True, definitely. They will definitely wear that stuff. But most of the time, they're wearing things that hug their body, and their body needs to be even a certain way for it to be even considered in the competition. So that's my whole point. It's the body. We're just going to the body. So if it's the body, that means we're objectifying the object is the body.
No.
Because the whole point, let me even give you a perfect example. Even with bodybuilding, it's all about the body.
Yes,
the body needs to look a certain way. If it doesn't look a certain way, you do not win the prize. So it's objectifying the object. Yes, the body.
Oh, wait, my guy. I don't think that's how that word works. First of all, I don't think that's how it works. Because once you identify an object, then you don't say just because there's an object, then you're objectifying. So I know to sports. Sports, they need to have the body. You sports. Then because you just identified the body.
No, but when we judging you according to those sports, long jump and whatnot, we don't look at your body's capacity to do the long jump. We look at the long jump. You get the sense? My point for marking you when I'm marking you, I'm not marking your triceps, are not marking your abs when you do the long jump. You can be whatever you are. You can be whatever you are and jump the long jump. But what I'm going to mark is the distance.
Fine.
I'm not going to say
I totally hear you, and that is correct in that definition. But I don't think that's how objectifying works. Meaning to go so. I actually don't think that's how that word works.
Yes, before you look
for
you look for the definition of objectifying, right? I may be using the word wrong, but it doesn't denigrate my point. It doesn't bring my point down.
We'll correct it today. Then we can go back now.
Let me bring up my point before we get to the definition. I want to bring my point back again, so that it has context when we now read what objectifying means. My whole point is, aren't we causing negativity within the society by having those modeling contests, having even the bodybuilding contests? It's because we are saying as a society, this is the form of beauty that's rewarded, and usually that form of beauty is rewarded by getting the nice pics. What is it saying about those who don't naturally have that form of beauty? Does it mean?
I will answer that question for you, and I tried to answer it before. But first of all, let's read the definition of objectifying.
Okay.
To objectify means to treat someone or something as an object rather than as a person or a complex entity. It often refers to reducing a person to their physical attributes or specific function, ignoring their thoughts, emotions, or individuality. For example, when people say that media objectifies women, they mean it portrays them in a way that focuses only on their appearance rather than their intelligence, personality, or ability.
Exactly. That's what I am saying. All right. That definition is exactly what I'm saying. To say, if I'm going to if a judge, I'm not well versed in modeling and how they mark, but if a judge is going to mark, I would assume from my general knowledge that most of the marks lie on the body. if it's going to be bodybuilding, most of the marks lie on the body. When it comes to cricket, when it comes to soccer, when it comes to long jump, short put, whatever the case may be, it's the distance or the amount of runs or the amount of time. The body is not the main subject here. So within modeling contests, within Miss Universe, Miss Teen, whatever, we are objectifying women as the body.
Okay, fine. Let me show you something that you are deliberately choosing to ignore. When it comes to modeling, especially with the women ones, I don't know the male side, but with the women one, there's always boot camp where they are being trained, where they are checking their character, where they're grooming them to be better people in the society. And they even judge them based on that. There's even a category known as Miss Personality. It's not even based on just the beauty, it's actually about the personality. And then you see that one of the categories they use to judge beauty is those interviews we're talking about. And all of these things are not nothing like what you'd want them to be. They actually are contributing to who wins.
I'm saying what contributes to who wins is more the body than those factors. Those factors are they play 30%, 35%. I don't know what percentage they may play. But what plays the majority of the percentage
now,
of who wins?
You see the problem now. The problem is you want to change the definition of objectifying to suit your argument.
No, I'm not changing
the definition of objectifying is solely judging someone based on their look, regardless of their intellectual capability or any other thing.
Regardless?
Yes. I can read it again.
Read it again, please.
To objectify means to treat someone or something as an object rather than as a person or a complex entity. It often refers to the reducing of a person to their physical attributes or a specific function, ignoring their thoughts, emotion, or individuality. For example, when people say social media objectifies women.
All right, yes, okay, fine. So as I illuminated in the beginning, I may be using the word incorrectly.
Let's drop this word now. Let's talk about the discussion in a different direction.
Yes, fine. We don't objectify women. So let's say, don't you think it lies more towards the look than the intellectual capability? And in lying towards more on the look than the intellectual capability actually causes a societal wrong and not a societal good.
Okay, fine. I want to answer that like I've tried before. There's a lot of things because Pekutangwati doesn't it make the other girls feel less? When you see bodybuilders win, does it make you feel less?
No, it doesn't make me feel less, but what it does is, to the impressionable youth and other people out there, it gives them the body, it shows them the body that can make the man. Because most of the people get into bodybuilding because they also want to have the look. If you look like that, if you look like The Rock, what's his name, Dwayne Johnson, then you are the superhero, because the superhero is the one who's big. So I can even imagine to the youths out there, even us growing up, you want to look like the conqueror, you want to look like the guy. So it's impressionable. But then going down that route of being a bodybuilder is actually even bad for your body. If you see social media influencers right now who do body, who talk about exercise in the body, their bodies, they have the most beautiful bodies. And they make it seem as if you just follow this program, then you will have the same body. That is where the negativity is coming in within the society. That's where my point is coming in.
Saka, now, if we're going to go that direction, first of all, with your perspective, even bodybuilding yakashata, number one, even modeling yakashata, number two, even maquiz akashata, number three, because maquiz are not about Nigeria.
No, wait. Now, wait. Now, falls apart is.
Where is it falling apart now?
Where it falls apart for me is now when it comes to the body and when it comes to the quiz, what we're using as a judge is not solely your intellectual capacity. Yes, we're not looking at the body.
Yeah, it's your
mind.
But
yeah, when we're now doing those shows, we are looking at your body.
So the problem only comes when it's the body.
The body always, you know what? The body is always had a problem with people because people go to wars over the body, never the mind. Have you ever seen any man?
Funny,
wait, no, for real though. Have you ever seen any man do anything in relation to the mind of a woman?
How you been doing anything?
You know, to say a man who move mountains or a man who sacrifice himself for the mind of a woman. Have you ever seen a TV show or anything?
No,
even in real life?
No, that doesn't work. Usually,
no, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. It's from time immemorial, the thing that we are attracted to as human beings is the body. And usually that attraction to the body never really leads to anything good for society. Because if you focus solely on someone's body...
Not anything good, but yes.
negatives are. So hence that point for me.
point yako ndiri kuinzwa, but I just wanted to show you that just because something has negatives doesn't make it a bad thing. Because a lot of things have negatives.
Do you know what? What you're saying is a bit contrarian. Because if you say, look at it like this, if you say something has negatives, drinking and driving, right, has negatives, right? But it also has a couple of, okay, fine, that one's a bad example. Let me give another example of what can we say? Almost anything we can talk about.
What I'm talking about here, I will just go back to the simple example, Yokutima quiz. There are people that have gotten negative things from quiz. I'll give you a simple example. I wanted to be part of those things, but I always failed. And I am less because I'm not capable of doing these things.
But
so does that make the quiz a bad thing now?
No, that in relation to what I'm saying, in relation to what you are saying,
the next person I feel is serious.
No, I see your panenya yangu. I see your panenya yangu. Rukuti ichocho chinogona kukonzeresa izvozvo. My story is the way we do it when it comes to women, because the whole point when it comes to,
let's not even talk about women. We're talking about both sexes. Because the Vuma to bodybuilding is the same thing.
Even when it comes to men, fine. When it comes to women, when it comes to men.
Let's just say when we're talking about modeling.
Yes, when we're talking about modeling the body, we've realized that when we fixate on the body, nothing ever happens well, generally. But when we fixate on the mind, good things come out. Not fixate, but when we focus, when we judge people on their mind, good things come out. But if we judge people on their body, mostly on their body, good things never really come out of that. That's where I'm coming from with my point.
No, that's a good point. You know what I would say to you right now? Do you have the data to support what you are saying? Because right now it just seems like you're just speaking something out of the air. But what are you saying, man?
What I'm saying is, give me your perception of it. And your perception
you got it simple. We do this as human beings. We choose things that we find entertaining and we find beneficial to other people. And it's my morals that I say it as human beings. Maybe one day our morals will say modeling is bad, but right now they say it's not bad and we're doing it. There's so many things that we just put boundaries. Gender is my human beings. Right? And benefit and someone can make money off of it. We do it. So right now, according to the morals that we've set, modeling, ain't a problem.
You also don't see it as a problem.
I honestly don't see any problem with it. And maybe it becomes a problem. Can I talk to my teenagers? Yes, there's a problem. But trust me, most of the guys don't do it. And Miss Teens and whatever, they won't be wearing that stuff. They'll be just wearing is little kids modeling.
But then they be looking for the most beautiful one.
Definitely.
Right there,
beauty is appreciated. Appreciated a problem again, because you need to understand in the world things are not the same.
True,
and
we totally
there's
understand
nothing
that.
wrong in celebrating that. I think there's actually something wrong in people trying to deny the fact that some things are nicer than other things and try to say everything is the same. It's not the same. Some people are faster, some people are more beautiful, some people are more intelligent.
That's
let's
not
celebrate
what I'm
that.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I think you are twisting what I'm saying.
I'm not twisting anything.
No, you literally saying
Tati, the best beautiful, the most beautiful girl will win.
Yes, but I'm not saying there's no good and there's no bad and everything is the same. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you
saying?
I'm
just saying, when we use those criterions to judge human beings and their capacity to help other human beings, that criterion is not one of the best criterions to use.
We do not use that as a capacity to, or rather as a criterion to measure the capacity to help. No. Helping is just part of the act. We're not measuring the capacity to help here. I think maybe that's where you're doing it wrong.
It's not within the measuring. Don't get lost in
the... It's not even the Miss Universe.
True.
Here they're just looking for their face.
That's
they
my
want
whole
the
point.
Most beautiful face
that's my
to
whole
represent
point.
Their cause.
That's my whole point, to say don't get lost in the weeds of it, to say kubatsira kana kubatsira. My whole point is in the overall thing of it, to say we purposely pushing an agenda of beauty.
And what's wrong with that?
If you don't say anything wrong with it, then I guess
we shouldn't push
what
beauty.
It is.
It's just your mind, and it's really nothing. For real. It's just your mind here. Because if you have brought statistics to tell me, look, out of all the girls that have been modeling, out of X, half of X, about 3/4 of X has gone this route and is bad for them. So definitely
let's just Google generally. Just generally. Just Google
what?
Google that statement to say generally is I don't know how can
just give us a subjective answer. Is modeling bad?
No, not bad. Let's say we want to get data.
What data?
To say that's what I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to prove it right on the spot. What we're talking about.
Statistically, is modeling bad? Concerns include misleading conclusions. Poorly designed models can distort reality, leading to incorrect assumptions or biased decisions. Social bias. Some models reinforce inequalities, disproportionality affecting disadvantaged groups, over reliance on algorithms.
No, I don't think we're talking about the same models.
Pageants, beauty pageants.
Yes, beauty pageants.
Beauty pageants can have both positive and negative effects on participants, but statistically, research highlights several concerns. Mental health impact. Studies show that beauty pageants can contribute to body dissatisfaction, eating disorders, and self-esteem issues, especially among young women. Unrealistic beauty standards. Pageants often promote a narrow definition of beauty, which can lead to harmful comparisons and pressure to conform. Financial burden, stress and pressure, long-term effects. That said, some participants find empowerment, confidence, and career opportunities through pageantry. It depends on how the experience is managed and the support systems in place. See? 50-50, my guy. As always. And like anything else.
I think if you say that, then you're crazy.
You
say like always and everything else. You say everything else is always 50-50.
To a very large extent. You think there's actually something that you say this is utterly good?
Not utterly good, utterly beneficial. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me.
If you weigh anything, just like how objectively, if you get 64% or if you get 49%, you objectively, you've already passed the percentile of 50-50. So you're better.
When I'm saying just like anything, we're talking about competitions and any other competition is Roji. Google it will remember negative.
But definitely you can get what outweighs the other. It's never a conclusion of, so at the end of the day, it's 50-50.
Yes, it's always like that. It depends on how you are. I know that's what I'm saying. Indian does not 50-50. But then the conclusion was it depends on the way it's managed and the way it's handled and the support systems that are there. It depends with all those things. That means it can either be on the other side or on the other side. And that happens with anything, whether we're athletics, or soccer, or puzzles, wherever. As long as something is skewed to the one side, you can get negatives or you can even get positives.
All right. So I guess that concludes our story for today.
Conclusion. Anyways, what you guys think? What you guys think about beauty pageants? Are they bad? Whether it's kuside kwa waskana or kuside kwa warume. Is it something society should keep on doing or we should just be done with it? So get away from the camera, please.
Today we got a new guest in the house.
So tell us, zvakanaka here, kana zvakashata, tell us, kana zvakanaka tell us zvakanakira. Maybe society can learn from some of the points. So from me and Mr. Debock, we are out. Bye-bye.